Well, hello there my dear friends, welcome back to the Scott Ree Project. Now today, as you've seen at the start of the video, it's all about pigeon. Pigeon shooting season is here. After the harvest, there are pigeons absolutely everywhere. Now pigeon, I'll be honest with you, is one of my favourite meats. Very underrated. Cooked properly, it rivals the finest steak. You get it wrong, you take it a little too far, it becomes a bit livery, a little bit offally. Now I've got loads of videos of recipes of pan-fried pigeon breast, but we've got quite a lot here, so what I want to do is make some pigeon sausages. Now, what I've got here, the ratio is 3.5 pounds of meat. And what I've got here is 2.5 pounds of pigeon breast. Now we froze it in a big lump and I've just cut through it, and that is to do with the sausage making process. Now when you make sausages, it's all about keeping everything as cold as possible. So if you freeze it just like that and just take it out, it'll keep the meat nice and cool, it will keep the machine nice and cool, and that's what you want. So what I've got here then is 3.5 pounds of meat. Like I said, I've got 2 pounds of pigeon breast and 1.5 pounds of a really good fatty pork. Obviously, like the rabbit, like the hare, like venison, there's no fat on a pigeon, so we want to add a bit of fat into it, so we always use a good fatty belly pork. So 3.5 pounds of meat. What I got here is 0.5 pound of sausage making rusk. It's a yeastless bread. If you can't get this, I will put a video in the description. I've got a video on how to make your own. And then the seasoning. Now you can make your own seasonings, but to be honest, this is one of the finest out there. Now this is from a company I use called Fishmonger.Former. I will put the link in the description, and this is the one I use. It's absolutely blinding. A fantastic sausage seasoning. I mean, you won't get better. I absolutely love it. And of that, I have got 2 ounces. So it's 3.5 of meat, 1/2 of rusk, makes 4. We got our seasoning. Now what we need to do, we need to add some water, some liquid to our rusk. It will take 2 times its weight in liquid. You can use whatever, cider, wine. I'm just going to use some water. Again, you want ice cold water out of the fridge. So I've got a bottle of ice cold water. Now you want 1 pound in weight. So basically a pint of water equals 1 pound in weight. Now you may be saying, what you want about 1 pound in weight of water? That is how we make sausages over here. That is the way it's done. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what we're doing, we've added our water. As you can see, it's quite watery, but what we'll do is we'll put that in the fridge and that will all fluff up. And what that will do is, when we mix our pigeon meat with our fatty pork, we're adding that fat, we're adding that flavour, and the thing we don't want is when we cook it, for all of that lovely fattiness to come out of the sausage. So what this does, when we add this, it retains all that fat, gives you a good texture, gives you a good sausage, not dry, very flavourful, nice and moist. As you can see, already taking that up. So what I'll do then is I'll put this in the fridge, keep everything nice and cold, and in the meantime, I will get my meat through the mincer. Okay, that has gone through the mincer once. As you can see, it needs binding together and mixing, but what we will do is we will add our seasoning, 2 ounces of that wonderful Fishmonger.Former game sausage mix. I mean, the smell is absolutely incredible. Then what we'll do is we'll add our rusk. As you can see, it's fluffed up like a good one. So I'm just going to, just as I put it in, separate any of the biggest lumps. But what we've got to do, we've got to give it a good mix anyway. Send it through the mincer, then give it one final mix. It's a case of getting your hands in. Now, the health police, do not go on about using your hands. Do not go on about the rings. Do not go on about the watches. Because frankly, my dear, I don't care. So, just a preliminary mix. You can check for the consistency. If it's a bit thick, you can add a bit more water, but it's starting to resemble sausage meat now. Fantastic colour. That's what I like about this. I once made some sausages with some goose, Canadian geese. Absolutely stunning. But that, oh, it smells absolutely superb. Right, I'm just going to get that through the mincer one more time. Okay then, that's been through the mincer twice. What we need to do now is give it a good old mix. I'm just going to add just a little spot of water just to help ease it through the machine. Just give it a good mix up. Now what we need to do is we need to fuse the fat to that lean, so we're building up a primary bind. So it's just a case of getting your hands in. Now in a butcher's this would be done in a machine, but just send it through your fingers. And what you're looking for, you want to be able to hold some of this sausage meat up like that. If you can see, that's not coming off my hand. That's what you're looking for. That is how you tell you've got a good bind on. Superb. I mean, that's proper sticky. Look at that. That's what you want. So I'm going to put this on chill, set up the sausage machine, and start piping these beauties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my sausage mix into the barrel of my sausage stuffer. So in here I have soaking some natural lamb's casings. You just get it out in here. A little bit of water helps. So we just find an end somewhere in this pile. Now you can use hog's casings if you want to, but I do like them if I'm making like pigeon or, like I said, goose. I do like the thinner casing. Just going to cut that so I can get a clean end. Then just thread it on. Always comical making sausages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie off the end. Very simple, he says. It's 2 knots. Now take it back to the skins and then just let it feed in. Okay, so next we're going to tie them. Now what you want to do, you want to pick your size of your sausage. So I'm going to go like that, so make 3. Then fold that one over, so you start your linkage up. Tie it off, just like that. Just going with the size. You may have a split in the skin. They're very delicate, these lamb ones. These ain't the best skins. I got these skins from another supplier. They are, to be honest, very, very poor. What I'll do is I'll just put that one there like that and sling that one round there like that. And there we have saucissons. So I'll show you one more time with this. Try and get your mix evenly distributed. So give it a fettle all the way down. You obviously don't want to do them too tight. Don't stuff them too much because they will burst. But as you can see, I start by making 3 equal sized sausages. There's the 2. I wrap that one round through. That starts me. So now we got this loop here up. So by eye measuring, again, there's 2 sausages over the top, just like that, and up and over. Just wind it round a few times. You can take the excess out of that, tie that off. Give it a cut, and there we have. Once we've tied this off as well, our pigeon sausages. Now what you need to do with these then is hang these in the fridge. Just dry them off with a dry cloth. Hang them in the fridge for a day. Look at that split there. Terrible skins. I'm not going to name and shame the company. Just tie it off. So there you have your pigeon sausages with the odd shitty skin thrown in. Like I said then, you want these to go in the fridge, you want them to dry out naturally, get them to bloom, leave them for about 24 hours, and you can get them in the pan. Okay then my friends, they have been in the fridge for a couple of hours. They need, like I said, 24 hours, but you can see how they've turned out. Just look at these. Hey, pigeon sausages. Now, like I said, that seasoning from Weschenfelder, by far the best. I will definitely put the link in the description. Get online, order it. It is absolutely brilliant. But I like the colour of these, obviously the red of the breasts. But yeah, there you have it. Fantastic pigeon sausages. So if you've enjoyed what you're seeing here on the SRP, please click subscribe when my face comes up in this corner. Also check me out on all my social media. On my Facebook, there's 2 pages. Scott Rea, The Scott Rea Project. Also on my Twitter at The Scott Rea Project and my Instagram at Scott Rea Project. And please do check out my Patreon if you feel like sharing the love. But until next time, there's loads of pigeons out there. So if you're shooting them, by all means, pan fry them. But if you're feeling dangerous, make some pigeon bangers. They are absolutely superb. Thanks for watching my friends. See you again.